Masechet Avot. This is part of the Mishnah, part of the 63 Masechtot that are on the Mishnah. And it's found in Seder Nezikim, and most of it talks about the way that we should behave. And I want to start with the first chapter of Pirkei Avot. It starts like this. משה קיבל תורה מסיני ומסרה ליהושע, ויהושע לזקנים והזקנים לנביאים, ונביאים מסרוה לאנשי הכנסת הגדולה. So, Moshe received the Torah on Mount Sinai. He gave it to Yehoshua bin Nun. Yehoshua gave it to the Zkenim, to the elderly wise people. The Zkenim gave it to the Nevi'im, to the prophets. And the Nevi'im gave them to the people of Anshe Knesset Agdolah. This shows you the way we received the Torah and how it got by all the way to the times of the Mishnah, when the Mishnah was signed by Rabbi Yehuda Anasi. And this is what we have today. הם אמרו שלושה דברים, הבו מתונים בדין, והעמידו תלמידים הרבה, ועשו סייג לתורה. אנשי כנסת הגדולה said the following three things. Be patient in the way you judge. Have many students, people that learn from you, and make a protective fence to the Torah. Now what does that mean? Establish rules for yourself to keep yourself from doing bad things. This is the border that you have to put in your life. So first of all, don't judge harshly. You see something, keep in your mind, maybe I'm not seeing what I'm supposed to see. Maybe I don't understand the full picture. And also don't be harsh on what you're doing. Teach other people the good ways. שמעון הצדיק היה משיירי כנסת הגדולה. Shimon HaTzadik was one of the last people of the Knesset Agdolah. And he said three things. הוא היה אומר, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד, על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים. So he used to say that the world stands on three things: the Torah learning, and avodah, serving God, and doing acts of kindness. But what does that mean? So of course the Torah, we receive the Torah, we have rules of how to run the world, how to run ourselves, our lives, deal with other people, deal with the relationship with God. And then it says ala avodah. Now you can translate avodah as work, as labor, but it means, when you say avodah, means avodat Hashem, working for God, doing what God wanted you to do in this world. And you do that by using the power of the Torah and what you learned, and then you bring good to the world. And the third thing is act of kindness, which means charity, which means helping other people, those in needs. Be a good person, not just for yourself, but for your environment around you. Yosef ben Yoezer ish Tzereda and Yosef ben Yochanan ish Yerushalayim were the students of Antigonos ish Socho, who was the student of Shimon HaTzadik. And they said like this: Yehe beitcha bet vad לחכמים, והווה מתאבק באפר רגליהם, והווה שותה וצמא את דבריהם. What does it mean? It means that you need to let your house to be a place of wisdom. You bring wise people to be there, and you share wisdom of the Torah in your house. And every piece of wisdom, you drink it with thirst all the time. And you have to take it upon yourself, all those wisdom and the good things. And you need to aim to be around these type of people and not hang out with meaningless things in your life. Like everybody's gathering around, oh, let's drink beer, oh, let's do this, let's do this. Move your life with a lot of nothing in it. Bring some content into it. Bring something that will elevate your soul. Open the book of Psalms and see the first two sentences. אשרי האיש אשר לא הלך בעצת רשעים, ובדרך חטאים לא עמד, ובמושב לצים לא ישב. כי אם בתורת אדוני חפצו, ובתורתו יהגה יומם ולילה. So, praise this person who did not go in the advice of evil people, and he didn't stand in the way of the sins, and he did not sit with the foolish and the clowns, but he wanted to have the way of God. He wanted to have the Torah, and he wants to learn it day and night. That's all. So this is the way you need to be. Aim for the good, not for the bad. Aim for having those wise people around you, the people of the Torah, and not those that will take you to foolish places. יהושע בן פרחיה אומר, עשה לך רב וקנה לך חבר, והבא דן את כל האדם לכף זכות. So what does Rabbi Yehoshua ben Pirkei is saying? Make yourself a teacher that will teach you Torah and how to be good and how to do good in life. And by that you're going to have a friend. He's going to be your friend because he's taking you to the way of good. It's taking you to the next level. He's making you a better person. Eved Hashem. And then he said, והבא דן את כל האדם לכף זכות. What does it mean? Judge every person favorably. Every day in our life, we see tens of people in the supermarket, in our way to work, at work, with a family, friends, and we judge them all the time. All of us. We do it. But we don't judge them many times favorably. We say, oh, this person did this. Oh my God, he's like, ah. We see that a lot with talkbacks online. That people tend to judge and say horrible things to other people. Think horrible things about other people. We judge all the time. But let's try to change that and judge favorably. Because maybe this person made a mistake. Maybe this person had a bad day. And we can give excuses for these people to judge them favorably. And there is a saying that the way we judge others, this is the way we are going to be judged. So when you're seeing somebody that is doing something wrong, and you say, you know, this person should get 10 years in jail, and this person should get this, and this person should have this, and this one is a terrible person. If we go by the Zohar, many times when we see something or somebody that we're judging, we're not judging them, actually, we're judging ourselves. So, of course, we need to judge everybody favorably, but not just because this is how we're going to be judged, but because we need to be good, kind, and try to see the bigger picture, because we see everything very, very narrow. As people, this is the way we are. Let's try to open it a little bit more and see how things can be more open, more wide. And then we can judge everybody favorably. ניתאי הארבלי אומר, הרחק משכן רע ואל תתחבר לרשע. ניתאי הארבלי says that you should keep away from bad neighbors and who might influence you. And do not be too closely connected to evil people, wicked people. What does it mean? Many times in our life we see people that are doing bad things, but because we have them around us for too long, we start not to see those qualities. And these people start to affect us. These people, we start to inherit some of their qualities, which are not such good qualities. So you can see that a lot with kids, that you see a kid and he has a bad friend. It's okay that you will say, you know what, you cannot be a friend of this kid, because the bad kid influences the good kid more than the good kid influences the bad kid. And it's good for kids, it's good for grown-ups also. And he also says, ואל תתייאש מן הפורענות. He said, do not despair when punishment is given for wrongdoings. And there is another way to look at it. Pur'anut is also bad things that are coming. It's also bad things that are coming to your life. And people get into despair. People get into despair, but you need to know that the pur'anut, these bad things that are coming, they are limited in time. They're not eternal. So even if something really bad is happening in your life, and I know people go over terrible, terrible things in their lives, you got to have faith in God. And you need to know that no matter what bad things are happening into your life, they're limited in time. And even if you see that your life is good and perfect, don't sit like, oh, nothing is going to happen to me. Remember, the bad times can come, but the bad times will go. They're limited in time, the bad times.
יהודה בן טבעי אומר, אל תעש עצמך כעורכי הדיינים, וכשיהיו בעלי הדין עומדים לפניך, יהיו בעיניך כרשעים, וכשנפטרים מלפניך, יהיו בעיניך כזכאים, כשקיבלו עליהם את הדין.
So what does he say, Yehuda ben Tabai? Do not act as a lawyer by advising those being judged. When litigates are standing before you in court, consider both of them as guilty, and don't favor either side. And when they leave you after the case, having accepted judgment, consider them both righteous. So, a lot of time in life, we act like a lawyer and not like a judge. We see a situation, and if it's somebody we favor or somebody we hate, we give all the excuses in the world why they're guilty or not guilty, why was whatever they did was justified or not justified, based on what we think of those people, what we know about those people, what we want them to like us, or we have some interest over there. A lot of different things. But the way we should look at things is to be like a judge, to have everything clear in front of us, look at both sides as guilty, and look for the truth. Don't be a lawyer, be a judge. Shimon ben Shattach says, as a judge, you should investigate and question the witnesses. Question them hard. And be careful with the words you're saying, because the way you're going to say things make the people that you're talking to, that you're judging them, that you're investigating them, that you're trying to get into the truth, you can make them become liars, and they will learn how you talk in order for them to be able to lie. In order for them to win the case. So you need to be careful. So we said, not to be a lawyer, not to be somebody that gives excuses, and act like a judge, that investigate the witnesses, investigate the people, investigate the situation. You can see that a lot with kids. You have one kid that runs all around the house and destroys everything, and you have one kid that is a so-called good kid that doesn't make any trouble. And one day you see a situation, and in your head you think that the one that is making a mess did something and the other one didn't do nothing. But if you don't investigate in the right way,
you might accuse the wrong person. But it's not only with kids, it's with everything in your life. So be careful and be a good judge. Shmaya says, you should love work and not consider yourself too good to work or too important to work. A lot of time in life, we think that if we won't do anything, we'll be happier, we'll have peace and mind, and that's not really true. We have to do something, we have to achieve something, even if those things that we're doing, we're not really succeeding in them. The effort that we're making is what we need, the effort. And it says hate positions of power. Do not choose them unless the responsibility is placed upon you. And do not become too friendly with those in power. It's not going to take you anywhere good if you think that now that you're a friend with somebody with power, he's going to put you here and there and he's going to become your God, and with him you can climb to the sky. It doesn't go like that. It goes, if God wants you to climb, God will put you there. If God doesn't want, he's not going to put you there. You need to make the effort. You need to work for it. And when the time will be right, God will put you in the right place. אבטליון אומר, חכמים, היזהרו בדבריכם, שמא תחובו חובת גלות ותגלו למקומות מים רעים, וישתו התלמידים הבאים אחריכם וימותו, ונמצא שם שמיים מתחלל. So, חכמים means the wise people. Watch what you're saying, because you're liable to every word that comes out of your mouth. So, we have people around us in life, and we teach them so many different things. It can be kids, it can be family, it can be just the person on the street that listens to us. And the things that you're saying have meaning for people. People learn from you. People take what you're saying seriously, even if you don't think about that. Maybe from a whole conversation there's going to be one sentence that is going to change the life of somebody, to good or to bad. You need to be careful, because you don't want those that are listening to you to go to bad places because of your advice, and God forbid to go against God, because it also can harm you eventually. But don't think about it because it harms you, because it harms, period. So if you have something toxic to say, better not to say it. If something that you're saying is going to influence somebody badly, try not to say it. People listen to you. People cherish you. And even if you don't think that anybody listens to you, someplace, somehow, there is a person that you are the most important person for him in his life, even if he doesn't know that. And you're going to be the biggest influence in his life. So try to have good influence on people, and be careful with what you say. הלל ושמאי קיבלו מהם. הלל אומר, הווה מתלמידיו של אהרון, אוהב שלום ורודף שלום, אוהב את הבריות ומקרבן לתורה. So, Aaron HaKohen was the person that he was the brother of Moshe Rabbeinu, Moses. And it says about him that he was the person that was looking to make peace all the time in the world. There is a famous story from the Midrash that is saying that if Aaron HaKohen would see two people fighting against each other and having an argument or going really into a bad way, he would wait, and then he would go to one of them and say, you know, I spoke to the other guy and he told me that he's sorry for what he did and he loves you and he just want to talk to you, and then what do you think? The other guy say, hey, you know what? Yeah, I wasn't okay. I want to talk to him, but I don't feel comfortable. Can you tell him that I want to talk to him? Then he would come, one would go to the other person and will tell him, you know, I spoke to your friend. He says that he's sorry and he loves you, and these people came together, hugged, love each other, make peace with each other, and that was the way. So always in life, we need to remember that peace is better than war. Peace between people is always the best thing. That people will love each other, that people will talk to each other, will be nice to each other. Bring it together, bring the people together. That's the most important thing, and that's how you are becoming the student of Aharon HaKohen. You're looking for peace all the time. And we continue. Hillel used to say, Negad Shma, Avad Shme. Udela Mosif, Yosef. Udela Yalif, Katala Chayav. Udeishtama, Betaga Chalaf. So Hillel used to say, someone who tries to become famous will end up losing any good reputation he already has. Not that if he became famous because he did something good and he became famous, or life just brought him. If he aims to become famous, he aims to be proud and big and above everybody, it will collapse, always. And you can think about many artists, many actors, famous politicians that all they wanted to do is to be proud and proud and proud. Everybody fell down. Everybody, in one way or another, you can see that. And somebody who does not constantly increase the way to learn Torah, the way to become better, a better person, eventually he will decrease. And those that are learning Torah, and those that can teach, and teach good things in life, and not just Torah. Let's say you have something good that you can teach and you can share with other people, and you keep it just for yourself and you don't teach it. Well, the Torah puts you as somebody that in really, really bad judgment, because whatever good you have in you and you can share with others and help them to improve themselves and be better, and you're not doing this is something bad. And if somebody is using the crown of the Torah, all the wisdom, just to show himself as I'm the wisest, I'm the smartest, I'm the best, this is something that will destroy him, because nobody is allowed to be proud. It doesn't belong to people, and people tend to use it all the time, to be proud. It's all of us. We need to be very careful with that. Pride. Hillel also used to say, אם אין אני לי, מי לי? וכשאני לעצמי, מה אני? ואם לא עכשיו, אימתי? And what does it mean? If I do not try to help myself, who will do that for me? But if I'm selfish and I try to help myself and I do help myself, what am I worth? And if I do not do what I should do, when will I do it? When should I do it? It may never happen. There will not be another opportunity. Many times in our life we freeze, and many times we don't move. And if we won't start to act, nothing will happen. It's very rare that everything will fall on you from the sky. If you're not going to do something, you need to move. You need to show that you want to try, and God will give it to you. And if we just do stuff for ourselves, then we think that we're something, we need to remember, what am I really worth? And also about acting, if I'm not gonna act right now, maybe the train will leave the station. Maybe I won't be able to do it. So it's something to think about. שמאי אומר, עשה תורתך קבע, אמור מעט ועשה הרבה, והווה מקבל כל אדם בסבר פנים יפות. Shammai says, make your Torah learning permanent. All the time learn, all the time evolve yourself, all the time be good, try to do things better, do this, learn this, try to take more things upon yourself to do them. And say little and do a lot. It's not about what you say, it's about what you do. And greet every person with cheerful face. You know, when we see people and we greet them with cheerful face and happiness and smile, sometimes it's the biggest charity that you can give in the world. Why? Because maybe this person that is coming right now is sad and he thinks that nobody likes him and his life is going down the drain, and suddenly see you smile. So you give him from your light, and this person now he gets a little bit from your light, and it can elevate him from the place that he is and make him feel good. That's one of the biggest charities you can do with people. Shimon, the son of Rabban Gamliel, used to say that he grew up with all those smart people, and he has never found a better for any person than silence. To be silent, not to talk too much. And he said that studying is not the most important thing. We see people study and study and study and get degrees and they learn and they learn and they learn, but they don't do anything with what they learn. They just learn. But that's not the main thing. The main thing is to do, not to learn. You can learn all the amazing things in the world. But let's say, okay, you can learn about a screwdriver, how to make it, from what material, and how it moves, and how the screw looks like and everything. But until you take the screw and the screwdriver and start using it, you didn't do nothing. So that's the same thing in life. You can learn, but you need to do. And whoever talks too much bring himself to a sin. So you see people, when they talk too much, eventually they don't do nothing, and sometimes they even get themselves to a very, very bad place with all the sins that they can get into, just because they talk too much. Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel says, the world continues to exist because of three things: because of justice, because of truth, and because of peace. As it says in Zechariah Hanavi, in Zechariah the prophet, judge with truth and try to negotiate a compromise which leads to a peaceful judgment within your gates. So, if you judge things the way they're supposed to be judged, and you're going to stick to the truth and to the peace, with these three elements, the whole world continue to exist. Thank you very much for watching. I touched some of the parts of the first chapter of Pirkei Avot. Hopefully, with God's help, we're going to make another chapter. Thank you very much.